Welcome to Marketing Monday. Today we want to talk about, whoa, that latte is hot. Today we want to talk about why an accurate profile photo matters maybe more than you think. I want to tell you about a client of mine, Molly is what we'll call her. She's a brilliant mediator, compassionate, empathetic. She's a whiz at guiding difficult conversations. But for the longest time, her LinkedIn profile picture didn't quite match her real life presence. She was using an old headshot. It was flattering, but in my opinion, it was excessively smooth. It had been filtered, layered. It was not accurate. And then whenever she would meet new clients in person or on Zoom, there was this awkward moment of, is that the same Molly from LinkedIn? Right? And I think that this is exactly why choosing an accurate profile photo is so important, especially when you work in our field, a field that is really reliant on trust and connection and authenticity. These things really matter. So let's talk about why heavily filtered or outdated photos can undermine your credibility and how cognitive dissonance, when it kicks in, why it matters and why investing in a professional photographer might be your best move. My name is Natalie from Marketing Resolution. This is Marketing Monday. Welcome. As always, if you have questions, additional resources, information, or a topic that you'd like me to explore in a future episode, please be sure that you put it in the comments and I'll answer your questions. So cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance, that's when reality and expectations don't match. They create this little twinge of confusion. It's that uneasy feeling that we get when our expectations clash with what we now see in front of us as reality. So for example, if a potential client sees a photo of you that's practically airbrushed beyond recognition, and you show up noticeably different, it causes them subconsciously to question your authenticity, even if they can't pinpoint the reason that something feels off. So again, back to my client, Molly, when Molly finally realized that her old picture was causing a mental mismatch, this cognitive dissonance, it was startling to her. She actually shared with me in a consultation that one client admitted to her that, they had been thrown off for a second because she looked so different in person. Now, it wasn't a deal breaker, but it did create a subtle barrier right at the moment when trust building should have been paramount. So first impressions, they're formed in a split second. And if a client feels any disconnect, no matter how small, they might hesitate to fully trust your expertise or maybe feel a little uneasy about it. It's that important. Meeting someone via their photo is something that we all do in 2025 and beyond. It's just the way our virtual world works, through LinkedIn, through professional directories, through your website, etc. Your profile photo often serves as someone's first meeting with you. Your photo is your ambassador, right? It sets the tone for what people can expect in an actual mediation or a Zoom mediation or face-to-face networking event. It's that important. So we want to set the right tone with our profile photos, and accuracy builds trust. A clear, current, well-lit photo says to people, I'm transparent, I value authenticity. Now, not all of us feel like we are profile photo perfect. Some of us have gray hair. We call them racing stripes at my house. Some of us have a little bit of a crow's feet, but in our industry, those are assets. Gray hair, no hair, experience, those are assets. We don't want to hide them. We want to embrace them. We want to show people, again, that we're transparent and that we're authentically ourselves. Also, you might want to show your personality. So whether you choose a really friendly smile or a more neutral professional gaze, totally up to you. Just make it reflect your true self. Now, there are some cultural sensitivities that we need to take into account. In some fields, like legal and corporate mediation, looking too casual might be off-putting. In other niches, being overly formal could distance you from your clients who want a more personal vibe, right? So, and another client, we'll call him Jake, who specialized in community disputes. And he uses a really warm, natural photograph taken in front of a local, quite famous, Instagram famous mural. But this perfectly reflects his approachable nature and his commitment to the community. And clients see it and they think, yep, absolutely, that's Jake, that's my guy. This is a person who's grounded, who's real, right? Now, of course, you don't have to hire a professional photographer to get these results. I hear this all the time. I have a really good camera on my smartphone. Yes, you do. You absolutely do. And these, smartphones, they take amazing photographs, but a professional photographer can do a lot more than just push a button. They take into account lighting and angles. They know how to make sure that your face is well lit, that your posture's on point, and that the background isn't distracting from you. They can give you guidance on poses. So if you're one of those people like me who feel awkward in front of a camera, a really good photographer can help you relax and capture some genuine expressions. So not just the pretend laugh, but a true laugh, not just a painted on smile, but a genuine, engaging smile that lights up your eyes. It also ensures that across all of your platforms, there's going to be some consistency. So if you're building or even rebranding a website or your social media platforms, think about getting a series of high quality shots that you can reuse across your platforms and on your website. So schedule a day with a photographer. Again, my client Molly, she fully updated her profile photo. She booked a session with a local photographer. It's not super expensive. It's just the cost of doing business. And they met at her office, at Molly's office, where she mediates the vast majority of her cases. They used natural light next to the window. They snapped some pictures as she walked around, chatting about her day, explaining to the photographer, what mediation is, what mediators do. But the result of this really pleasant interaction with a professional photographer meant that the photos that the photographer took were authentic. They were warm. Molly didn't look stiff or overly posed. The editing was very minimal, so there were no heavy filters. Just some natural sort of color correction was done, but it was absolutely worth it. Spending a little bit of time on that photo session, she felt was, a luxury item, but actually it really paid off in the long run. It boosted her professional image across all of her platforms and her website. We always say, don't judge a book by its cover, but we all do it, and clients do it to us too. We are judged, especially in online environments. So present your real best self. It's absolutely invaluable. It's not a luxury, I promise. Now, let me help you get some ideas about getting the right shot, so to speak. You want to be sure that across your platform, your profile photos are recent. So if you've had a drastic change in your hairstyle or your hair color, or you lose weight or you gain weight, or maybe you just haven't updated your photo in a couple of years, look at your photo with a critical eye and think about refreshing what you're putting out into the world. You might want to think also about the setting. So maybe it's your office, maybe it's a well-lit workspace at home, or a really cool outdoor spot that reflects your brand, your community, your clients. You also want to think about the way that you dress. You want to wear something that makes you feel comfortable, of course, and that matches the quote unquote vibe that you want to convey: formal, informal, bright, muted, etc. It should complement your brand ID. So if your colors are navy blue, burgundy, and forest green, see if you can't match your tie or your dress or your blazer, or your accessories, so that it complements your brand ID colors, so that when you use your photo in promotions, it's a nice match. Also, I think remembering that filter free doesn't mean that your photo is going to not be flattering, and natural doesn't mean that there's no editing. So when I hear people talking about, using an accurate photo, I absolutely agree. But some people think that means that any, phone photo under harsh fluorescent lights, that kind of thing. No, 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 no. You can still do basic editing. You can do slight color corrections. You can crop it. You can remove a distracting background. But it's the really heavy change my face filter that causes trouble. When you change the shape of your face, or the smoothness of your skin, or the color of your hairline, etc., that's when we get into trouble. A lot of people think, selfies are fine for casual platforms. Absolutely. Facebook, Instagram stories, you bet. When you're posting about attending a networking event and you take a selfie of you and your colleagues and you post it, fantastic. But for your professional headshots on LinkedIn and your website or the professional directory, really think about a much more polished shot. It is going to typically be better. If you are doing public speaking, presenting, you're authoring articles or papers, you're providing a training, all of those groups are going to ask you for a headshot, and you need to be able to email them a truly professional headshot, not just a selfie. I think there are also some sort of real world consequences of a mismatched photo. Sometimes a surprise is not a good surprise, not a good thing. So imagine that you are meeting a potential client or a referral partner, and they expect to see the person that they've met online. Maybe it's an old photo, long flowing hair and a young, smooth complexion. And now I show up with shorter hair, some wrinkles. We all have them. It's nothing to be embarrassed about. And a lot of gray streaks. Well, it's obvious that the photo isn't recent. Even if they don't say anything to your face, that initial discrepancy, again, can lead to that subconscious doubt about your professionalism and your transparency. And when your photo looks too touched up or too different from how you appear in a client meeting, you miss out on connecting with people who value honesty and authenticity. That's what they're looking for in our mediator. So you want to bring all of that together. Again, we start with trust. Your profile photo is frequently somebody's first introduction to you. You want to make it real. It should be a recent representation of who you are today. Avoid that cognitive dissonance that I was talking about. We don't want to create confusion in an already stressful situation. So we don't want to filter our image to the point that, we look like a different person than what we look like in real life. Professional photography really is worth it, unless you are super adept at using the camera on your smartphone. Just hire somebody to help you with it, especially if you rely on clients finding and trusting you online. Investing in high quality photos can be a game changer. Always in any photo, be yourself. just be polished. A bit of editing or retouching, again, is fine, but you want to keep it recognizable. All right. So let's wrap up with my story of Molly. After Molly updated her LinkedIn headshot to a new, crisp, natural photo, she did notice an uptick in connection requests from people who said they felt, sort of, I guess, that they already knew her. They felt connected to her from her profile. And that's the power of recognizable, authentic imagery. It tells your clients, yep, this is the real me, and I'm here ready to help you. So if you've been hiding behind a filter heavy profile pic from 2012, think about booking a photographer or at least snapping a recent photo in really good lighting. Your future clients, your credibility sometimes really depend on it. And they'll be thankful when you get it real and authentic. Well, that is it for me on Marketing Monday. Hope this helps you make some choices about your profile pic. Take care. Let me know if you have any questions, problems, need further resources. Be good humans. Bye-bye.